Powerful message now from three-time NBA champion Dwayne Wade. He has a new documentary coming out about his life on and off the court. It's called D-Wade, Life Unexpected. It offers a rare glimpse into his private life and the way he and his family, how they are supporting their daughter Zaya, who recently came out as transgender. Dwayne is standing by. We're going to speak with him live in just a moment, but first take a look at their story.
A lot of you guys see me as a superhero.
NBA superstar Dwayne Wade is opening up like never before in the new ESPN documentary, D-Wade, Life Unexpected. The 38-year-old revealing details about not only his professional life, but his family as well, raising his 5 children, including 12-year-old daughter Zaya, who recently came out as transgender.
Launch to LeBron, they've done it again!
Wade says he and his wife, actress Gabrielle Union, didn't have all the answers when Zaya first approached them and began educating themselves to support their daughter.
When I was a kid, I never knew if I was around someone who was gay, transgender. I never knew it. So when Zion came out to us, I had to get educated on every scenario and every situation, and I'm still being educated. So if my child comes home and say, "Hey, Dad, I feel that I am a she," my job is to help you become who you are.
Zaya's brother Zaire sharing these photos of the two of them growing up, posting on Instagram, "I have been blessed to have my best friend Zaya with me for 12 years. We did everything together. But the one thing we never did was leave each other behind. I don't care what they think, Z. You are my best friend, and I love you." Union sharing this intimate conversation between Zaya and her father.
Even when people are being mean?
Yeah, I know they can get tough, definitely. But I think you push through and you be the best you.
Oh, it is wonderful to have Dwayne Wade here with us. First of all, thank you so much you're here to talk about the documentary, and you got permission from Zaya for us to have this discussion.
Yes, I did.
that you started with Ellen that just got so much reaction. How is she handling all of this attention and people that are talking and now know her story?
Yeah, she's a kid that wants to focus on school. Right, today she has a mock trial at school that she's stressing about, and she's like, "Dad, I came out to everyone because I wanted to be me."
Come on, Dwayne Wade. No, not you. They got him, y'all. They got him, y'all. But everybody is up in arms. When I say everybody, I mean everybody. Like,
Dwayne Wade, you gone too fucking far, dog. That is a male, a 12-year-old. At 12, they don't even know what their next meal gonna be. They don't have shit figured out yet. He might meet a woman, anything, at 16 and fall in love with her. But his dick be gone. How you gonna, like, bro, you going too far, dog. Don't cut his dick off, bro. Like, bro, for real. If he gonna be gay, let him be gay. But don't cut his dick off, bro.
Yeah. Bosey and everybody up in arms. Oh, man. But as usual, we got to talk about it. So let's get into the show. Yo, welcome back, people. This is your boy ANYAE from ANYAE's Way, Atlanta's #1 voice, and this one right here, just like our sister Gayle King was heavily requested. I've been getting hit all week because people wanted me to address our good brother Dwayne Wade and his son Zion, or newly Zaya Wade. Yeah, let's talk about it, y'all. Listen, I keep telling y'all again and again and again and again, why do we put such heavy expectations on our celebrities and our athletes? These are not our leaders. In no other group are there athletes, are there entertainers, they're leaders. So to put such expectation to hold our athletes and our actors to a certain level of accountability or a certain standard is almost asinine. Specifically speaking, when we or they or all of us come from the communities that we come from. Am I shitting on all our communities? No. I know that there's a few black communities in America that are dope and that are producing some great black men and women. Hey, I'm a product of the communities that I came from, you know, but I recognize that I am somewhat of the anomaly. But nevertheless, I always have to hold us, don't make me go get that mirror, us accountable for what we produce. Again, as I said before in the last episode, it's easy to blame the garden for the garden looking ugly, for the garden looking weak, for the garden weathering away. But it's harder to hold the gardener accountable for what it has or has not done, and ultimately what it has produced or the lack thereof. I'm going to take it back to the words of one man that truly inspired me. I'm gonna just send you to this quick little clip to show you what he said about our people so you can gain a more firm understanding of who we are in the state that we're in right now and why we're behaving the way we're behaving right now. Let's get to that clip.
Black people have been robbed, as I said earlier, of a knowledge of self. And when you rob people, sir, of a knowledge of self, then it means that they start to take on the characteristics and the nature of their oppressor and their colonizer. And his mind, by automatic, systematic, remote control, rules in our people. He gives them...
And that right there is the game that's being run on our people. And we wonder why, and the world wonders why we are the way we are. If you go back to the Hidden Color series, if you guys haven't check it out, man, check it out. Part 1 through Part 4, dynamic. There was a famous quote by rapper KRS-One that said, you know, if you could just imagine, he was making a parallel between our people and this specifically, which I'm sympathetic to, but this is the scenario that he made. My apologies if I offend anybody, but I gotta get this to you. He said in so many words, black people are like a parallel to a woman, or specifically a person that was just in a house, trapped in a house all of their lives. Let's say a person was trapped in this house all of their lives, from birth all the way to like 21. And this person was getting molested, raped in this house. Never knew any type of freedom or any type of outside life outside of this house. The house being a parallel of America or white supremacy. And one day, the same man or woman that's raping you, that's molesting you, just says to this person that's been in this house all their lives, you know what? You're free. You're free to do as you will. Leave this house. Go. You're free. You've got your freedom. I'm going to leave you alone. I'm never going to do this to you again. You good. Go on out there. Can you just imagine the type of trauma that person has in their minds? You know, how weak that person is mentally, emotionally, spiritually, how that person has been broken all their lives. That person may be so broken down to where all he or she knows is to come back to that same house. Yes, to that same trauma that put that person in that situation. And ultimately, that's us, whether you see it or not, even within yourself. Look in that mirror within yourself. Yes, there are different levels of trauma. I'm always going to deal with the trauma that we face as a people here in America under the system that we've been under, because it is real, ladies and gentlemen. It is real. And its long-lasting effects and influences are real as well. Khaled just told you in that clip that we're a group of people who ultimately have lost, you know, just a sense of self. So, you know, when you're in a state to where you don't know who you are and you don't have any type of infrastructure to try to piece things back together, ultimately you just have a group of people that's just trying to figure it all out individually. And here we have an example of, in this case, a Dwayne Wade, which I'm not here to bash my brother. I'm not here to knock my brother, because y'all doing enough of that on social media. You know, y'all, man, y'all crucial with the manhunt. You know what I'm saying? And this is not about me trying to give him a pass. Just like I told y'all with Gayle King, I wasn't necessarily giving her a pass. But I'm a psychologist mentally. I always like to break down the human mind, you know what I'm saying, from a mental standpoint, from a social standpoint, from a historical standpoint, to say, why is this person, why are these people behaving the way that they're behaving? There has to be an explanation behind it all. And within the realm of, or the studies of psychology, they always teach us to go back to a person's childhood, to uncover childhood trauma, the goods, the bads, and everything in that person's childhood. The environment in which that person grew up in. Was it a healthy environment? Was it a toxic environment? Some are even starting to say that, speaking on Dwayne Wade's son, who knows if he was molested as a young child. Yes, I'm bringing it up. I'm not saying that every person that becomes trans, or, you know, that is lesbian or gay, has went through that type of trauma. But when we dig deep and we unlock a lot of these stories, we usually find that in there. I'm not saying it for sure. I don't know. It's just speculation. But whether it is or whether it ain't, I see y'all ain't having it, man. Y'all going in. Y'all going in. And that's one thing that we got to respect. You know, they say that this is a place where we have the right to speech. You know what I'm saying? We have the freedom of speech here, you know, just long as it's not hate speech. If we're saying as a group that, hey, we're not accepting this, that ultimately it's not of our original culture. If we come from African peoples, indigenous peoples, and we're saying that, hey, we just come from a culture that just doesn't accept this, but specifically with a small child. Again, I'm not here to bash my brothers and sisters from the LBGT community. You go through enough. We just want you to stand here with us on the platform of blackness and fight for this blackness. We not judging, we not knocking you, but this is an issue that our community has to have open conversations about. And now is the time, you know. A lot of people are coming out speaking against Dwayne Wade from a standpoint of his parenting, you know, saying that, hey, this is a young child. You can't give a child this type of choice. A young child that young doesn't know who he or she wants to be. Y'all saw the clip. Do I need to play the clip? My boy Boosie wants to get it. I'm playing it again. Go to the clip. I'm playing it again.
That is a male, a 12-year-old. At 12, they don't even know what their next meal gonna be. They don't have shit figured out yet. He might meet a woman, anything, at 16 and fall in love with her. But his dick be gone. How he gonna? Like, bro, you going too far, dog. Don't cut his dick off, bro.
I mean, it's some laughs in that, but it's some realness in that. He said, don't cut the off. Don't cut it off. Don't cut that off, man. Don't cut that off, man. That's real, you know. How much choice, you know, are we gonna say as a people? Because again, what do we originally come from? What is our essence that was taken away from us? Our essence was of, at least most of us, of African peoples, where we still had boundaries for children. But now we're African Americans in the Americas. And being under this experience, it teaches us that children should have their freedom of speech, their freedom of way. But that's in conflict of who we are as a people, because ultimately, as African peoples, you know, as specifically as parents, we're supposed to be teaching our children, we're supposed to be setting those boundaries. And here, this country is preaching the opposite. And now we're getting an example of one of our own saying, you know what, I'm going against the grain. I'm going to give my child the power of freedom, the power of choice. And I'm going to set a standard with this. And our community is saying we ain't having it. And you know what, from that aspect, I applaud that. I'm not standing with that as a dad, and as an alpha male. I'm here to tell you that I'm here to set the standard, you know, for my children. I get it. You know, they're here to be themselves ultimately. But the foundation, just like the foundation of a house, if you don't put that foundation down right, that house is due to what? Crumble. Yeah, you know that. So that's why us as parents are supposed to be here to set a firm foundation. Hey, once they get outside of our house, it's up to them on how they choose to live their lives. But we must set a firm foundation, and that's why boundaries are so necessary, because a child's mind isn't developed yet. You know, and that's why we have to be careful of the influences that we allow to get close to these children at a young age. I spoke about it before. This is one of the many reasons that I homeschool, because I don't want many different influences that I don't agree with to be around my children, whether it be certain teachers at school, certain children at school. I don't even allow my children to just freelance on the internet or just watch TV like that, because there are a lot of influences that get to our children that we need to protect our children from. Going back to this situation specifically, Dwayne Wade is a millionaire. So his children in general are around a completely different type of influences in the schools that they're in. I'm pretty sure they're in schools that there ain't too many black kids in these schools. So it's definitely they're definitely being raised around a lot of white kids. Not knocking white folks out there, love you, but I got to be honest, our culture is different, and going back to boundaries, our boundary levels as different cultures are different. Y'all allow much stuff that we don't, so this is where the conflict and interest comes. He may sit back and say, I don't understand. I don't understand the backlash. I have freedom. This country has taught me freedom. This country has taught me, that people should be who they want to be. I like the idea of being who you want to be, but we got to get back to the essence and the root of who we are. And this is why foundation is so necessary. If we had a firm foundation and a full understanding of who we are, if he was taught as a child who we are as a young child within the household, if he was teaching his children who we are and how we're supposed to operate, when they were in the household, there would be no confusion. There would be no confusion. The influence of other cultures wouldn't be as heavy. And that's why y'all know I'm big on accountability, us understanding and learning who we are, putting together infrastructure in schools, teaching our youth, teaching our people who we are. That's the problem that we face. We don't know who we are, so we're acting like everyone else. We're allowing everything. We don't set any boundaries, because in America, it's like the WWE Royal Rumble. Anything goes, but that's not supposed to be our way as an African people. Yes, African peoples, which we come from. And when you don't set standards, you don't set boundaries, you don't teach, as I spoke about in my last video, principles, standards, morals, ethics, as a group, people fall victim to the way society runs. And in this society, as I said before, ultimately money and opportunity is God in this realm. So hey, why should I have to succumb to what parts of my chaotic community wants me to succumb to? All I got to do is get the bag. All I got to do is get this opportunity. Some are even speculating at this point right now that and I could see it, that it seems like it's an underlying agenda behind this all. That like maybe the LGBT community is putting Dwayne Wade up to this. I don't know. That's only speculation. I could see in the future him being the first black LGBTQ dad, popular dad, that's out there in the forefront. I could see him in a ton of commercials pushing that agenda to the people that, hey, it's okay for your son to make this type of transition. It's okay for you to support it in the way that I've supported it. And, I'm here to tell you guys that, hey, this is okay, and this is what I went through. This is what my family went through. I'm telling y'all, it's coming. It's coming. And just like we've been hearing over social media for some years now, the attack on black male masculinity is real. And ultimately, our good brother could be used as a tool against such, with him maybe not even knowing. Sometimes games are run on our people. Sometimes our people are used as pawns, and we don't realize the games that's being played on us until way after the fact. I saw an interview not too long ago on Vlad TV of the young brother that played Stacy in the Wood. He was referencing another movie that he was in called Lockdown, where in that movie there was a graphic scene where he was raped in the movie. Yeah, he said in the interview that That was a last minute thing that the director came to him with, that it wasn't originally in the script, but the director came to him and said, you know, we're going to throw this in. We think this will be very necessary for the film. And he said, you know, he had a disdain for it. He said, I don't understand why this is necessary. I don't understand why this is needed. I'm not comfortable with it. And he said the director told him, white director told him, hey, you know what? Nah, you got to do this, man. It'll work. We need this in the film. You got to do this or you got to leave. Again, opportunity, because we don't provide our people with opportunity, because we don't teach our people how to self-sustain for themselves. When opportunity comes in front of them and they feel like, hey, this is the way to get me out of poverty. This is the way to get my family in a better position in life. Damn, I may not want to take this. I may not want to do this, but damn, I feel like I have to do this to forward myself, you know, to gain some type of financial stability. What a scenario to have to deal with, to put your integrity up against something that morally, you know, it just doesn't feel right. And that's ultimately a lot of times what we putting our people up against. Now, granted, let's go back to Dwayne Wade. I know a lot of you are saying, hey, ANYAE, we ain't hearing that with Dwayne Wade, man. That man is rich. That man already got money. That man making NBA broadcaster money. We're not hearing that with him at all. That's not his case, so we're not giving him a pass on that. And you know what? I can understand that sentiment. I could totally understand that sentiment. That specifically may not be the case with him, but influence may be the case with him. What kind of crowds is he around, you know, at this portion of his life, or let's say throughout his NBA career? Because we know once you become a millionaire and you live in different areas, you're now living around a different type of crowd. You're befriending different type of people. Again, going back to his son is going to schools with different type of children. Yes, we noted earlier that his boys originally, they lived with their mom, which there was some type of discrepancy with that. And eventually Dwayne Wade got all of his sons and they lived with him. But who's to know the people that his sons were around before they got with him? Again, who's to know if his son wasn't sexually abused when they were with the mother? I'm not blaming the mother. I'm not blaming the mother at all. And as a matter of fact, the mom just came out and she said that she's not with all this, that she disagrees with all this. But let's switch it over to the woman that he's with now and the crowds that she's been around, or maybe how she grew up. Gabrielle Union. I'm not knocking, I'm not judging her, I'm just dissecting. Y'all know that's how I do. Gabrielle Union. I'm not, you know what, I'm not even going to say what she said. I'm just going to play what she said. She said it a couple times in a couple interviews. Let me just play that for you. Just play this, just listen in.
Very one-sided. And while, you know, a lot of people, a lot of women do enjoy, you know, providing fellatio, for sure there needs to be some cunnilingus, same time or not, or directly after or before. And I said, you know, and then ask him to eat your ass.
What?
You did say that in the book.
I did. And that's how we got to teach these kids. You got to really get them young and say, look, if you're going to be just offering blowjobs willy-nilly, there should be, you know, some pleasure that you experience in return. It's only fair.
So if she gives the guy a blowjob, he goes down on her, she eats his ass. I mean, he eats her ass. Then does that mean she has to eat the man's butt?
I mean, if we're talking about, you know, equal time here, reciprocity.
Guys really aren't, at least the ones I know, aren't really into this.
That's what they say. That's what they're saying.
So
that's not what's happening.
How old were you when you first ate a butt?
Was it with the teddy bear?
The teddy bear.
Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
Yeah. I'm not knocking. I'm not judging. I know some. So again, the mentality of the parents in the scenario, the mentality of the people that, you know, the parents were raised around, that shifted their mind to say that certain things are okay, certain things are acceptable, certain things are not acceptable. These are the things we have to look at. These are the things we have to dissect. These are the things that we have to question. And ultimately, this comes back again on us. The accountability has to be on us as a community. We're seeing what can happen when our community is at disarray and when it's at chaos. Because we're seeing an example of a Gayle King. We're seeing an example of a Dwayne Wade and this person and this person and this, and it goes on. But when do we as a community say, hold up, we got to stop this madness? If we're not agreeing with this, we have to create structure. We have to create structure. Structure is the only way. Do we see these type of examples coming out of the Chinese community, out of the Korean community? You know, do we see these type of examples where people are so off course with their group, where people can go so far left from their group, where people can look like almost, let's say, a white Chinese man, if that makes any sense to you? You know, you could be black in skin, but your mind could be European. That's not a knock to no Europeans out there, no white people out there. But if you do take offense to it, hey, take it how you want to take it. I'm unapologetic sometimes. I'm unapologetic most of the time, you know. And again, that's a place that we're going to have to come to as even black men or as black people to say, you know what, we're taking a stance on certain things. We're taking a stance. We're taking a stance. This is what it is, and this is what it's not. You know, we're trying to set structure. Hey, feel how you want to feel, but this is how it is. I think sometimes that's what does hurt our message or us pushing forward, trying to cater to everyone's feelings. The reality is when you're trying to reform a group of people, specifically our people that really need it, you're not going to be able to satisfy all ears out there. You're not going to always be able to be politically correct. But the ultimate goal is to get the message across, to push your agenda that's going to forwardly progress your people and ultimately help the children. The late, great Dr. Francis Cress Welsing taught us many years ago that, the master psychologist taught us that the black male feminization process is real. And there are many reasons behind that to weaken the black male so that they can keep just doing ultimately what they want to do to our people, so our people can continue to subdue ourselves to the will of this system, and so that ultimately our people are just weak. Every group of people needs that masculine energy within that group. Your masculine energy, those are your protectors, those are your teachers, those are your husbands, those are your leaders in your communities, those are your teachers. That presence is necessary, and it's dying, it's dying, it's dying, it's dying. She's the one that taught us that ultimately they're going to keep softening us up, softening us up, softening us up. You know, we went from the point of sagging our pants, but it was still masculine, but not right, to the point to which she predicted that we would be in full-on dresses. And now here we are. We thought it was funny back then, but now here we are. Here we are. So we this is a conversation that, you know, the deeper conversation is not even for the internet. It's not even for right here. I can't even go deeper into the conversation because there are some conversations that we need to open up on the internet, but the deeper conversation needs to be had at work, had in the household, had in the church, had amongst us on what we need to do in problem solving and getting on the same page. Getting on the same page is so necessary, because having a million different black people on a million different pages still doesn't help us. We need to set the standards, and we need to be firm on the standards that we set. That, hey, again, this is what we accept. This is what we don't accept. We accept these things because this is going to further us as a people. Again, Dwayne Wade, you're my brother. I love you, man. I'm not judging you. I'm not throwing you under the bus. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody else is. I'm just trying to dissect it all. ANYAE's way style. Hey, if y'all feel I'm crazy, scream at me in the comments. You know, if I'm on point, let me know. If you slightly disagree, let's talk about it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share this video. I'm going to come with content each and every day, each and every topic. We got to dissect it because we got to get back to a place as a people, to where we loving, we laughing, we getting rich, we getting righteous, and we pulling it all together, man. We first start as a black people getting our stuff together. And then we connect with everybody else. It's love for everybody, but we got to get our stuff together first. Yeah, I said it unapologetically. We got to get our house together first. We got to remember our significance to mankind. We were first on this earth. Am I saying that means we're better than anybody else? I'm not saying that. But when you're first, there's a responsibility that comes with that. So we need to get back on our throne and get our house back in order. And once we get our house back in order, the rest of the world will follow suit. I promise you. Talk to me in those comment boxes. This is your boy ANYAE from ANYAE's Way, one half of the Reality Gurus, Atlanta's #1 voice. Hey, talk to me, y'all. Peace.